talk about the little incident at Churchill City County Building about
The,
3 weeks ago?
yeah, there was a threat made at the Churchill City County Building, and the person making the threat has been charged, and I believe he has been served, I think. So, his day will come into court. The sheriff's office, placed an officer up there for the day to sort of provide security in the building. He also, I think he also made a threat to Holston Electric. And so, hopefully, that situation now is, you know, is over with. We've had no further complaints or no further threats that I know of. We still, go ahead, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, we still, I'm still short some folks, you know, in my division due to health problems. Hopefully I'll have one back on Monday. And continue to pray for Derek Hensley, who's still undergoing cancer treatment. He has cancer. He has colon cancer. He's been undergoing treatments now for a while, and he's doing okay. Yeah, keep him in your prayers, please.
The reason I was bringing this up, I mean, this is starting to be an issue in the county building and also in the city county building in Churchill. And I know it's been brought up several times about security at both locations. And I think that we kind of need, I think the little incident at the Churchill City County building has become a big issue overall. And I don't know if we need to send public buildings, start looking at getting a building or start getting more security, or we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do to protect the county employees of Hawkins County. So, Nancy, you wanna say something about this?
Well, I just, you know, it's not an everyday problem, but we do have, citizens that, you know, don't understand why they can't register something, or why this costs this much, or whatever, and it's an ongoing problem. It's been a problem ever since I've been in office in 2014. I do have concerns for my employees. I have concerns because of the layout of the office and the inability to lead the situation for all of us. So I strongly encourage you to look at the possibility of permanent security in both buildings.
And people must not know you, Nancy. I wouldn't want to make you mad.
I did a study, you know, for the county courthouse and annex, request of Sarah Davis, and which I have presented copies at different meetings and stuff, and I may have some copies here if you still want to see another copy. I can give you a copy of the cost for security equipment along with personnel. I was asked to do another study for the Churchill City County building, which I completed it also, for security equipment and personnel. We can maybe cut that personnel option down by one and still be able to work the plan. Things are changing in this world, and it's great to have freedoms and things, but we also have a lot of people out here who are, you know, a little unhinged, a little unstable, and people get mad, and there are problems that arise from that. We have a new law that allows folks to carry their firearms in office buildings and in the public if they want to, and so I hope that makes things safer, but you know, it could be a bad situation too. So I think that you really need to look at the whole picture and then make an educated decision on it. I would like to have this equipment in this building and the others too. Also made a presentation to the ad hoc committee about a body scanner for the jail, which needs it desperately, and 3 new metal detectors, which aren't overly expensive, to replace the ones we've had for 13 years. They're becoming where we have to adjust them, change the settings on them, because they'll feed off of each other and things like that, so they're getting old and they're starting not to work as well. I would also like to see one of those in the justice center if possible. Because we have a lot of people with introduction problems, trying to sneak drugs into the jail or into the, trying to falsify drug tests and things like that. So it's a pretty big picture. And with the drug situation that we have today, that just makes it a whole lot worse. The mental health situation in our country is really going downhill. It is.
There's other things you have to look at also though. I know this is a big issue.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've got solid waste, these convenience stations, people get mad at those.
They do.
In the parks sometimes. We're gonna have to look at the big picture
Yes.
and look at everything.
Yes.
Not just the mayor's office and the courthouse. There's others involved too.
Oh, yes, I understand. The county, owns a lot of land, a lot of buildings, and employs a lot of people. And I wish there was some easy way to keep everyone safe, but it's not an easy way to do that.
I know,
But what we have here is we have people in a close area and, it's, sometimes there are large amounts of money that go in and out of here, tax time and whatnot, so, it's something for us all to really look at. Like I said, I've done some initial studies on it, and, I think I've got some extra copies today, if you all wanna look at one, I can give you one. So,
Mr. Shanks, would you like to say something about all this?
Just a couple of things.
Come up front.
I'm fine. I'll stand back here, I'm not gonna jail.
Oh,
We've actually had people who legally were carrying guns walk into offices over custody issues, crying, disoriented, a lot of stuff y'all have no idea about. And I agree with what Mr. Thacker said, it's not just here, but it'd be a hard find to walk into too many courthouses and not encounter some type of an officer. I was in Sevier County training just a few months back, and I think when I walked in the front door there were about 8, and you didn't make it past the front. But it's just the money issue. I've heard them in Nancy's office. I know how well that goes. It happens in our office, and I don't even pretend to know what you all deal with. I've been out too long, but it's not gotten any better. I'm sure of that. So anything you all can do, we would definitely appreciate it if you consider it. As little.
To me, this is, something like this, is almost like road rage. You never know when it's gonna happen. Or you never know where it's gonna happen.
No, I agree with that.
That's one reason why, for the personnel. If we have someone that's here in the building, relatively really close by, something can happen over here in the annex and the officer working in here, might be upstairs. But that's really close when you compare it to having to call, say, the city police department or a deputy sheriff to come in off the road here to answer the call. So that's why the person being here means a lot. Plus, they also can watch people and look people as they come in the building. They can check them out and look at them, see what kind of condition they're in. Are they intoxicated? Are they mad? Are they angry? Sit there and talk to them and ease things up before they get to the point of going to Nancy's office or go to Jim's office or to any other office in the building. So that's why I think the officers themselves are imperative, plus the security equipment, the cameras, the alarms, and that sort of thing. That just adds to it to make it better. And telephones in certain areas. We may need a telephone. But, some of the stuff we already have, and some of the stuff just needs a little upgrade. And, I think it's just gonna make us safer altogether. It really will.
Now, Commissioner Jesse, he talked to me about the public buildings. I think it might be looking at another building for the city county building in Church Hill. have y'all done anything, you were on that committee, right? Public building. Have y'all done anything on that?
No, it's just talking right now.
All we have in that building, actually, is your office, and then what else is in there that belongs to the county?
The, clerk of courts has an office, I'm not sure what days he's open. The trustee's office is open several months.
About 3 months a year, probably.
Several months during the year for tax season. Also, the assessor's office, I think they have a very small space that they have to use up there, you know, maybe to drop off their computers or whatever they have up there.
And the sheriff's office has an office.
Yes.
And we do use ours about 5 or 6 months a year,
Okay.
actually.
So do y'all have enough space in that building? I mean, overall, all of you, I mean, all together, everybody that's in there. I know it's a small building, but
Well, I have 3 clerks there, so I have, front counter for the clerks and, one office in the back to store supplies and things.
I think, I don't know, I think public buildings and the budget committee needs to get together and decide on a building, and if you're gonna do that, and figure out where we can get funds to start this security thing, cause it's starting to be a big issue, and, I mean, the main thing for commissioners are concerned is the safety of the employees of Hawkins County. So, I don't know, we need to just set up a meeting with public buildings, joint with the budget committee to figure this out, to start figuring it out, or what. I know, I've seen you at the ad hoc committee several times, and I mean, as of today, unless Jim tells me different, we still don't have no money there, so. It just needs to be pulled down, my understanding, but we gotta figure out how to do that, if it's through resolution or whatever, but we're gonna have to start looking at this city, county building and this courthouse more serious, in my opinion, and if y'all wanna make a recommendation or whatever y'all wanna decide, I mean, it's fine with me. I'm just gonna vote anyway, so.
Let me tell you, excuse me, but, you know, this, that was one incident. We have similar incidents that happen in the Justice Center every once in a while. People will threaten or get mad, fuss in the parking lot, and, I mean, it happens quite often. Like I say, our situation in this country is bad, you know, mental health wise and drug abuse wise and things. So, you know, I'm not up to the Churchill City County building every day, and I don't know what all does go on, but I can, you know, I'd say more than goes on than what we know about. Of course, we don't know about it.
Commissioner Thacker. Oh, Kearns, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman, I want to commend Lieutenant Wood for his study on this and what he has presented. My concern is that, and I understood what you said about getting building people, you know, I think that we've had the red flag go up. We've seen that. In my opinion, it's not only as to how or what, it's when. And I think that funding one thing, I realize all of it. I think from this committee's point, I would like to see us make an action to start, whether it be this building or wherever, to deter this thing. Because maybe if we did one, he's not gonna be at the second. You know, we don't know. I just think that we have been warned. And I think that, in my personal opinion, I don't want it on me that I failed to react and one of our employees reacted. And you can't, it don't stop there. One employee, it affects a lot of people's lives. And I am deeply concerned that we need to take some action immediately, as soon as we can. And we're fussing and arguing about the funding. But we need to make a motion somehow to move forward with this thing. That's my opinion. And again, I thank you for what you've done on that. You did well.
Anytime.
And I know back during the pandemic, we would have meetings here. And coming in, of course, we had to have the mask and we had to do all that at the time. but we was greeted by an officer out there too. And not only did he make sure we did whatever, but also witnessed that a lot of people came and where, when, how, what. And the guy was very open and very cordial, and his presence was felt by people coming in and said, go upstairs, second floor, and right now. I'm just deeply concerned that we need to activate something. I wish it was in place today.
I believe, and I know you can help me on this. I attended a meeting out at, the bus shop. And, I believe Alan said, the sheriff's office come first, paperwork second, the court system third, and people fourth. In that order, I believe. That's been a year and a half ago.
I'm not familiar with that.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's, in order that he gave people fourth on the list. And I was upset over it, I'll be honest with you.
I'm not,
But then I talked to the mayor, and he felt like I did for a few minutes. Then he got to thinking, he said, you know, he's right. He said the sheriff's department can't protect all the people in Hawkins
oh
County.
no, there's no way.
And they take care of the sheriff's department, and of course, paperwork follows all that. And then the court system, paperwork goes along with all the court system. But he said, he's right, people gotta learn to take care of themselves, or defend themselves, let me put it that way.
Well,
Because a sheriff or a county deputy cannot man every household.
oh no.
That's what he's saying.
You can't,
And I didn't understand that
Yeah.
until I
You
give it
can't-
a lot of thought.
you're never ever gonna, even if you had that proverbial cop on every corner, you still won't stop every crime.
Oh, no.
You know,
No, I
it's
know.
not gonna work that way.
But what I'm looking at is the deterrence of the thing. Now, maybe you people don't operate like Tom Kern does. I'm going from here to Church Hill, and if I don't set my speed control on certain, to keep it in there, and I look up and I see a car sitting over there that has the blue lights equipped, whether it be state, county, or whatever, guess what Tom does? Put that speed over. If I'm running 5 miles over, does it deter me? You better believe it does. That's all I'm saying here. We've been warned and we know what's out there. It's happened a lot of places prior to us. What keeps us from letting it happen here?
Well, it's not a matter of
I just think
will it ever happen here, it's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
We, as the sheriff's office, we train every year on a thing called active shooter in order to be able to combat or to go to an active shooter complaint. We do that every year. And we don't take the attitude of it'll never happen here. We prepare for when it does happen here.
No, I agree with that. And I'm not
Emergency,
saying-
emergency management, the school board, we all work together to try to make plans and to train and to be prepared for these things that happen, you know. When we get complaints or notice that something like that may happen, we start investigating it right now. We don't wait till the next
I
day.
don't question that 1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm asking
Yeah,
is to make a couple additions.
Yeah.
That's here and wherever we need to do that to protect our people. I don't question the training.
yeah.
I don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We prepare that
Yeah.
way, and thus even this building needs to be prepared that way. The folks in this building, you know, they're citizens, they're employees. We need to look over them as best we can.
That's all in my.
Yeah.
Director Campbell, would you like to say something on this?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention something to help reiterate what Lieutenant Woods said. We have a dashboard at the district that we can watch every district in the state pretty much real time. And what we track on that is the top 16 districts in the state, real time. Just about every day, we hit that top 16 busiest districts in the state of Tennessee. That's with 99 districts. So where Lieutenant Woods was talking about times are changing, that we're busy, crime it's happening in Hawkins County. So that's hard to believe when you compare us to like Nashville, Memphis, Chattanooga, Knoxville, these busy 911 districts, but we're right there with them as far as the number of calls that we're receiving. So,
Mr. Chairman, that's all I have, I would make that suggestion.
Who's the chairman of public building?
Rick, I believe.
Rick. Are we interested in setting up a meeting with them and see what they're doing, just so we can decide what we need to do, to send on to the budget committee, or? what do
Mr.
y'all-
Chairman, I wanna say I support 100% security for our buildings. Ever since, Mr. Woods first secured for us a couple months ago, I've been in favor of that, and what Mr. Kearns here said, I agree with him 100%. Whatever we need to do to get the ball rolling, I'm for.
Well, we need to do
Mr. Chairman, if
something.
you need a motion on that, then I make a motion, we immediately move.
We don't need one, I can just set one
Okay,
out.
good, and let's get that
And
done.
at the same time, on the agenda, you need to put, I guess, discuss this along with the building in Mount Carmel. To see if we, or can, or will be located.
Yeah. I can sit there, and that way we can go ahead, we need to get this doing something on it, I guess, so.
And,
I guess.
It was asked to me in the last ad hoc committee meeting about where, how we can buy some of this equipment and stuff with that money, where it would apply, and I do have some information on that now. So I can give you all the information that I do have.